Blessings and welcome everyone. Just a reminder before we begin. Your rising sign horoscope will give you additional clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign horoscope may show up, and your moon sign horoscope will give you the less prominent side story that'll also be playing out for this 2-week period. Remember, horoscopes serve best when observed, like a weather or traffic report. You have influence over all outcomes with your thoughts, actions, choices, and deeds. Use the information that presents to help you make the highest choices for the highest outcomes. If you wish to schedule any of my services or like access to more content via my Patreon, follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Aries. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week starting December 12th, 2021. And remember, we are doing double readings now, so 2 cards per station or area of life. And Patreon people, don't forget to check out the weekly bonus astrology report as well, and you can follow the links down below for that. So, what are we going to be talking about with the astrology in this particular video? Well, on Monday itself, we actually have a new moon, which is in your sign. And it is also forming a beautiful sextile to Mars, which is actually in Gemini, your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, and commitments, as well as your peer group. And this is what we would consider to be a road opener new moon, especially because when we have a new moon sextile to Mars, we have something occur in our community over the course of this next 2 weeks that is actually going to allow for either a major goal, major intention, something that you're trying to get off the ground to finally have its day. Something is able to move forward. Mars is clearing the traffic out of the way of it. This is also your yearly birthday new moon, right? It's in your 1st house. And so this is also a time for you to be planting seeds in your community. If you've been keeping a lot of your desires, a lot of your goals, maybe hush-hush, or you've not been letting people in on what your intentions are, this is a time to actually be open, to be social, to be creative. Because with Mars in our 3rd house, we have champions to our cause, people that are actually going to be able to help us get those things realized and off the ground, right? When it comes to a new moon, it's our obligation to plant the seed. And it does look like whatever you initiate over the course of this next 2 weeks, that you can share, that you can get group involvement with, is all going to actually get, again, that open road experience, that freedom of movement, freedom of launch, and freedom from perhaps even a limitation on acceleration and growth as well. As we get on to your cards, well, for your spiritual themes for this week, you have the 9 of Wands upright and the 5 of Wands upright as well. And so one of the things this week that's going to be really important is going to be managing chaos, managing things that could be actually getting very turbulent, even if in a positive way. With the 9 of Wands, it's going to be a time where even things that have been chaotic, maybe recently or historically, this is a time where we're going to able to start bringing some coherence back into our life, coherence back into our relationships, coherence back into our teams, our groups, our goals. And the 9 of Wands is all about, being able to actually keep things in a space where things are actually able to grow and flourish to become their best, right? It's not necessarily a block or containment, but it is something that is preserving the purity and, again, the coherence of, what we've got going on with this project in our family or with our job or with whatever you have going on. Because the 5 of Wands, moving on to that card, is indicating that activity is going to be pretty intense during this week. And you're going to be noticing that a lot of things that may have actually been a bit disorganized, a bit fly by the seat of their pants, maybe too many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak, or too many ideas to actually form a crystallized whole, we're actually seeing this sort of starting to substantiate in a lot of areas in your space. And so it's going to be a time where you're going to be needing to actually also refine a lot of your plans, a lot of your procedures, a lot of the, creative directions that you've been actually taking your life, especially when it comes to even your professional life and your social life. Because with the Five of Wands, it is indicating, yeah, a chaotic environment doesn't necessarily allow for the most optimum conditions for growth or nourishment of anything that's actually in that environment, especially if it's something that is getting its first start or starting off, in a fledgling state. We want to make sure that it is protected, right? We take care of our babies. We don't, expose that to a chaotic environment. And this is where we have, with the Five of Wands, a real need to pay attention to everything that seems to need to maybe get toned down a little bit, or at least organized and stabilized. As we get on to your material shifts when it comes to your work, your finances, your job, you actually have the Eight of Wands upright and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Now, with the Eight of Wands upright, I am seeing some brilliant news coming your way, especially when it comes to something that has maybe been waiting in the wings, starting to finally move forward. Something that is actually able to get not only the go-ahead, but it's also getting a lot more backup. It's getting a lot more support, and it's becoming a lot more lucrative in the short term. Now, this could be a new job opportunity, or maybe just a financial project you've got going on elsewhere, maybe even something to do with a move. But with the Eight of Wands, what we're seeing is rapid acceleration of progress here. However, with the Ace of Pentacles reversed, it's also going to be a time for a lot of you to pay attention to things that you've been giving a lot of your energy that are not actually turning into much of anything at all. Because the Ace of Pentacles reverse is saying that, well, very much in the vein of that Five of Wands, something that we keep trying to support, we keep trying to make happen, we keep trying to get the ball rolling with, is actually taking up more energy, more time, and more resources than it actually should. And maybe it's because it's either the wrong time, the wrong direction, or the wrong intention. Because we're starting to see where the go-aheads are, where the good stuff is going, and where the good stuff is coming from with that Eight of Wands upright, it's also time for us to maybe start letting go of what might be considered dead weight or a hole, in the bucket. And the Ace of Pentacles reverse could indicate, yeah, we might have to kind of make some pragmatic choices about things that are either unrealistic, just not worth it anymore, or possibly something that's just not really well grounded. It doesn't have very sturdy foundations, and just even bothering to try and make it happen or force it to happen is actually more costly. And it's just not, again, something that we need to be giving our energy and attention to. As we get on to your communications with friends, relatives, and maybe other people in your life, well, you've got the King of Cups reversed and the Two of Wands upright. And with the King of Cups reversed, I am seeing that there may be something going on with a friend or a relative or somebody in your peer group, interestingly enough, somebody maybe who's been around a bit, kind of getting almost too involved, too close for comfort, or maybe it's their life becoming a problem in your life, because the King of Cups reverse can sometimes show up when a person is not managing the collateral damage of their drama. Again, we are all about managing chaos this week for you Aries people. And sometimes people, depending on their level of spiritual maturity and awareness, don't really do a very good job of managing the collateral damage of their drama, of their own life, of their choices, or of the things they're just not mindful of. And we may need to take measures to start pushing that out or keeping that out. As we get on to the Two of Wands upright, however, I am seeing a new alliance being formed this week, and this may actually be an alliance that is formed through the good deeds of another person on your behalf, whether it's something that they are offering to do for you, something they're going to offer to accomplish for you, or maybe see through that you do maybe want to consider accepting that assistance with, right? That champion Mars in the third house energy. Very, very strong with the Two of Wands here. This may be actually somebody who's going to be showing up as sort of a, a right-hand person for you, or somebody who is coming in to maybe even put finishing touches on something you've got going on to make it better than you could have estimated. As we get on to your challenges, this week, you've got the King of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Pentacles upright. And I'm actually getting a very interesting message here because it's almost as though this week you are learning how to be the parent, the caregiver, and the sovereign of your own reality, of your own world. And with the King of Pentacles as a challenge, what I'm actually seeing is that need. This is you getting challenged, I see, to actually start raising the standards and also enforcing the boundaries and standards that you keep with all of these spaces and energies that you're working with when you're manifesting, your own goals, your own intentions, your own aspirations. Because with the King of Pentacles, it's saying, look, the quality of life, and status that you've held is going through a very, very strong improvement right now. If you want to keep what you're manifesting, you have to remain a vibrational match for it or better. You can't say, I want to manifest something that you're a mismatch to, because even if you do get it, which is highly unlikely, you're not going to be able to hang on to it for long. And that's where I think a lot of this, King of Pentacles energy is asking for you to, okay, how do I make some systemic shifts to not only preserve the longevity of that Eight of Wands upright good fortune, that Two of Wands upright good fortune, but how do I also make sure that this is reflected in all of my goings on? If you're dealing with King of Cups reverse type characters or Ace of Pentacles reverse type situations, as we've already talked about, it can be kind of tough to, preserve a good thing and maintain a good thing. So we have to do something about it. As we get on to the Queen of Pentacles upright as a challenge, this is all about actually being okay with claiming your independent success. And your independent success that comes from actually allowing yourself to not necessarily feel like you have to transform or make room for things that are actually not a match for your own success, right? This is where we sometimes have to look and see where the equivalent exchange is. Yes, you might be taking a good hard look every once in a while at people or at pursuits that you have and go, all right, is this beneath this intention? Is this beneath the life that I want to have? Is this beneath the conduct of people in their mastery? The Queen of Pentacles is saying you have license and encouragement to actually start standing in that kind of empowerment as well. And with the challenge with the Queen of Pentacles, it does indicate, yes, you are going to have to also be like a mama bear or a papa bear and know when to, even to people that you might be considered friends with or whatever, kind of say, I can't let that energy change my reality. As we get on to your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you have the Seven of Wands upright and you have the Ten of Wands upright. And with the Seven of Wands upright, I do see a lot of you Aries people actually getting a very interesting opportunity where a partner or somebody new seems very determined to carve out space, time, and availability to take things to a more serious place with you. Because the Seven of Wands is indicating that you might be finding that a partner or a crush is actually going out of their way to kind of either clear their schedule, clear their space, or maybe even match you when it comes to some adjustments that they want to make in order to have the best relationship or the best relationship opportunity possible. Those of you who are single may notice that if you are meeting somebody new or if you've been seeing somebody very recently, they're also very keen on making sure that, you are getting the most of their attention and priority. They're going to be working very hard to stay more consistently involved. The Ten of Wands upright, however, is indicating that a lot of you may also be finding that, very much like that Seven of Wands, there may be something going on in your relationships, or maybe even, your own life outside of your relationship, that is starting to become so high maintenance that it's actually dragging other things down. And this could be something that we've taken on as a couple, something we're doing, for the household, or maybe a pursuit that we have, or maybe even something that we have taken on that, we are starting to realize is not worth the amount of energy and work that it is sucking away from our partnerships or our ability to be with the person we want to be with, or even start dating in general. And with the Ten of Wands, this is going to be a week where everybody is going to be doing some serious downsizing in the highest interest of all concerned, or at least the Ten of Wands upright is saying we should. And be careful about anything that's trying to maybe dump this kind of experience on you this week as well. So that is what I've got for you, Aries. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.